Senate Democrats have once again played partisanship with your money, and water is wet. Hey, welcome back to Too Long Didn't Care. I'm your host, Koi Mac, and today, Democrats be Democrats. Am I right? Yeah. So they blocked another relief bill from the Republicans because the Republicans are making their own bill after the House already passed their own version of the bill, because God forbid our politicians actually work together and do something that's beneficial to the American people. $2.4 trillion. That's the one in the House that they want to pass. Now, the one in the GOP doesn't have that big of a price tag, but it doesn't have all the wish list things that the Democrats want. So therefore, they block it because, God forbid, we get any help as American citizens who are struggling. Businesses are shuttering and failing left and right, and people can't enjoy themselves. And we're all scared crapless in our homes without our masks, because that's 2020 in a nutshell. But it's not the only thing that they're blocking. We also have the Senate Judiciary Committee is also blocking Amy Coney Barrett's nomination, or at least they tried to. They walked out and they said, nope, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. You can do it without us because all this is illegitimate, because apparently the Constitution doesn't matter and they can just make the rules up as they go, which is, by the way, funny, because they told them if they got rid of the filibuster voting under Obama, then this is probably going to happen. So they did it without them. They voted it through, and now it's going to be set up to vote. But hey, what goes around comes around, and now we're here. The only problem with this whole thing is that Democrats don't want anybody that doesn't have a D next to their name to produce any worthwhile legislation or to have any sort of judge that isn't nominated by a Democratic president. That's all there is to it. Is hyperpartisanship at its best. As unless you are for us or you are on either side, you cannot get anything done. And that doesn't help the American people at all. It doesn't help us one bit, especially with the constitutional crisis that's coming up after this election. Regardless of who wins, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a crap show of major proportions, whether Donald Trump wins or he loses, right? And so that's what they're hoping is, like, we will, if we don't have a bench filled, then there will be a crisis. But even if we do fill this bench with a Republican nomination, Joe Biden's probably just going to pack the court anyway if he wins, which is ridiculous, because if you don't win, you change the rules, and that's just how the Democrats play. And this is beyond insane. And this is stuff you need to be watching out for, especially as it goes down the line towards November 3rd and into the election. So this isn't the only thing that's kind of the bombshell today. Is there's Hunter Biden's business partner came out claiming that the email chain that we've all seen from the New York Post is true. It's absolutely factual, because he was on it. He was a part of it. And in his full statement to the New York Post, the biggest takeaway from this is that he said, and I quote, "I realize the Chinese are not really focused on healthy financial return on investment, that they are looking at this as a political or influence investment. Once I realized that Hunter wanted to use the company as a personal piggy bank by just taking out money out of it as soon as it came from the Chinese, I took steps to prevent that from happening. Johnson's report connected the dots in a way that shocked me, and it made me realize the Bidens had gone behind my back and gotten paid millions of dollars by Chinese, even though they told me they hadn't and they wouldn't do that to their partners." And this guy is a Navy vet as well. And so I want to take him at his words and at his best. Even if you take it with a grain of salt, this just further proves that the Bidens are corrupt. And you can honestly say, yes, okay, Trump's done some shady shit too. They're trying to currently discredit Giuliani with the whole like Borat movie thing where he's got his hands down his pants, which he's probably tucking in his shirt, or some other fucking nonsense that we're not paying attention to, but they're just trying to discredit Giuliani for his reporting of the Biden emails. Then you also have the fact that they're trying to paint Trump as being in bed with the Chinese because he has multiple bank accounts. And I'd like to ask you this seriously as a mainstream media people. What about Disney working with the labor camp officials in China to make the movie Mulan? That gets a free pass? Like, nobody's going to question that? Or how about any of the fact that most rich people have bank accounts in other countries? Not just China, but other places. It's not a unique situation for you to have an account in other countries, but this is something particular. This is not Donald Trump getting money from the Chinese. This is the Bidens getting money from the Chinese. And he's running for president of the United States right now. And if he wins, he has connections and ties to the Communist Party through payment benefits. This is blackmail worthy. This is stuff that when you're trying to get your secret clearance in the United States government, you have to divulge that you took money from foreign investors and foreign powers. You can't get a secret clearance with that. And that being said, it's like, how is this not newsworthy and nobody wants to report on this? It's beyond me. But that's not even the only thing. There's also the FBI subpoena alleging that the Hunter Biden laptop is also in connection with money laundering. And this is a big deal because it not only shows that the Bidens are absolutely corrupt at this moment. And you can, like I said, you can rightfully say that Donald Trump may be corrupt as well in certain things. Sure, we can have that conversation, but we can also have this conversation. You cannot let them get a free pass like they did in the Obama years. Because that's the whole reason all this came up, is because everybody kept giving them free passes for things that they did wrong. Anyway, these are the top stories that you need to be paying attention to right now. And I'll be back with some more later on. Please like and subscribe and share for more updates as we go on into the November election.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.